In this video, we are going to talk about 5 ways that you can automate your business. One of the things that I absolutely love is automation. Like, I'm all about automation. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. I absolutely love automation. Anything I can automate that I can automate is number one on my plate. Like, if there's any way that I can do that, I want to do it. And part of it is because my time is very important to me. When I go out and I work my business, I want to make sure that I'm maximizing my time. So I always look for things to automate. And one of the ways that you could start to automate, and I'm going to give you 5 specific things we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But we're going to talk about 5 things that you can automate. But here's the key to automation, okay? And one of them is you have to ask yourself, this: do you have tasks that you do every single day that are very repetitive? So are there things that you do every day that are repetitive? And what you should do is, get a pad of paper and start writing them down. Write down all the repetitive tasks that you have to do every single day. Posting on social media, sending an email, all the things that you need to do. And then the goal is, how do I start to automate some of that? This is a general rule for me. I'm always evaluating what I do. What are the repetitive things that I do so that I can see where I can automate and get my time back. And that's really, really important to me. So before we get into these, I'm going to share these with you. This Tuesday night, I want to let you know, this Tuesday, I am going to be doing a web class, okay, on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And I'm going to be talking specifically about automation in your business when it comes to making sales, getting signups, how to do this in an automated way, and how to really sell with automation. One of the key things that people need to know is that a lot of the big earners, a lot of the top marketers online use automation in their business to scale in a big way. So I'm going to really go in depth. I'm going to share with you a case study on Tuesday. You can get registered for that. Now, if you look in the description of this video, there should be a link there. But if you want a short link, go to markharbert.com/case study, and you can get registered for Tuesday night. I'm excited about it. Going to share some great stuff and some new stuff that I've been learning as well. And it's just going to be a great, great time to share some stuff and really add some value to your business, which is my goal. So, all right, so let's dig in. I know you guys are here. You're excited. You want to hear about this. Now, do me a favor. If there's somebody that you know that can get some value from this, tag them in the comments and also share this. Okay, so go ahead and share this video, tag people, let them know, and we're going to talk about some automation, all right? So let's go ahead and let's get into the first one. So the first one, I think, should be pretty obvious, but you'd be surprised, not a lot of people actually do this. And I'm actually surprised by it because it's something that I've been doing really for the last probably 1.5 years, 2 years, and it is auto posting to social media. Okay, so for instance, I use a tool called Meet Edgar, okay? This is the name of the tool. It's meetedgar.com. And basically what you do with Meet Edgar, and there's other ones out there like Hootsuite and Buffer and other automated social tools that you can use. But one of the key things with an auto poster is that for me, over the course of, the last 1.5 years, I have literally loaded up into this over 270 pieces of content into this auto poster that on a schedule, it posts to my social media. Okay. And why this is very powerful is because, once you create content, okay, so I see people and I teach people, to create content. It's a huge part of any business. But the reality of it is that if you're creating content, you may put it out there and people only see it, maybe for a short period of time. You put it out there maybe for a couple days to a week, and it starts to get some traction, and people start to see it, and maybe they get some value from it. But you've put all this effort into creating this piece of content, and if you just create it and put it out there and then do nothing else with it, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I just got to go and create more content. So what happens is you kind of get into this cycle where you're creating content just for the short-term gain, the short-term gain, and not necessarily the long-term gain. Okay, and I'm all about the short-term gain and the long-term gain. My camera's kind of it needs to focus here. Give me 1 second here. There we go. All right. So I'm all about the short-term gain and the long-term gain. Okay. So what happens is you create this content, you put it out there, get some traction. Now what you want to do is you want to take that content, load it into an auto poster, and set it up to repost maybe every 60 to 90 days. Okay. So what happens is this content, and here's why I love this. Okay. Because over time, when you start to create a lot of content, people forget, okay? People forget. And, it's actually pretty revealing. Now, I'm not going to get into politics here or anything like that, okay? It's not my goal. But I do want to tell you one of the key things that politicians rely upon, and it's people's ability to forget. I actually read this huge article on it. It was all about kind of psychology, and politicians use it to their advantage. Now, again, I'm not getting into politics here, but I read this article on it, and it's about utilizing the power of people to forget. And it got me thinking, and I said, well, if people forget about certain things, like, maybe what happened in world events 2 or 3 months ago, people don't even think about them anymore. It's off people's radar. They go about life, and next thing you know, they've forgotten all about it. They don't even know any of the details of it. It's gone. Well, here's what happens over 90 days. If you have your content going back out there, you have a new potential audience that you're going to reach. Okay. And you're utilizing that content. If people have forgotten about it and they've had some personal growth, they're going to come and see that piece of content again. And it's going to create some new, breakthroughs for them potentially, or they'll learn something new maybe they didn't catch before. So you really need to be using an auto poster. Okay. Again, I like Meet Edgar. It's a great one. It posts to pages, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook groups, your Facebook page, your Facebook profile. It works really, really well. So that's one I like, and you can check it out. But if you're not using one, I highly recommend you do it. And as you post on social media, begin to load these things into your auto poster. Are you sending emails? Guess what? You can take your emails, load those into your auto poster, and use emails as long form social media posts. So for instance, if you write an email, okay, and you go through all the trouble of writing that email, and it goes out to an email list that you may own, guess what? You can now take that email, load it into an auto poster, make a few minor changes to it, and then what you can do is use it as a social media post as well. So you're multi-purposing your content. And this is a very, very big way. And over time, as you load things in to an auto poster, that stuff's just going to be going on social media for you all the time. And guess what happens? As you do that, now it frees up your time to just hop on social media and start responding to comments, liking, having conversations, doing things like that. Okay. That is a huge time saver. Trust me, you want to do that. So that's your first one, is using an auto poster. Okay. So let's dive into the second one here. And this one is kind of obvious, especially if you've been around internet marketing for a period. If you've been around me for a period, you know I'm a massive, massive, massive fan of building an email list, okay? So your second tool that you would want would be an email autoresponder. Now, a lot of you are thinking, well, okay, I've already known about that one, Mark, but that's not a real big one for me. But here's the thing, a lot of people have email autoresponders, but they're not really utilizing them to their full capacity. People just kind of think, oh, when people put in their email, it goes into a database. I can send an email when I want, but here's the key. You can set up different aspects of an auto poster, or an email autoresponder, where you can set up campaigns. But the real power in autoresponders is behavioral, how do you say it? Replying to people based on behaviors. Okay, so for instance, in my particular autoresponder that I use, which is called Infusionsoft, there's an ability to set up a campaign, and a lot of email autoresponders are now having this capability where I can set it up where if I send out an email and somebody has, and you put a link in that email, you can set it to where when somebody clicks that link to maybe go over and check out a web page or a video or something like that, you could have an additional email set up that will automatically go out to them like an hour later. So they click on it, they go to the video, they watch the video. You can then have an email automatically go to them that says, hey, I noticed you went over to check out the video. I just wanted to get your feedback on it. What'd you think? Boom. There you go. It's a cool way to engage and a way to automate. Okay. These are little simple things make all the difference when it comes to engagement. And so if you're setting up campaigns or you're doing anything like that, you really want to find out the capabilities of your autoresponder and start utilizing some of those. Now, a lot of you guys have autoresponders and you don't know anything that they do other than I can just go in and send a blast out. I highly recommend that you take the time, go through your autoresponder training, learn the capabilities of the software, and start to utilize it because it is very, very powerful, and a lot of it's already included in what you already have, okay? So an email autoresponder, I think the easiest one to get started with is Aweber, personally. markharbert.com/Aweber if you want to go through my affiliate link. But Aweber, I think, is one of the best and the easiest to get started. Later on, if you want to get to a point where you want to go more advanced, there are some more advanced ones out there. But if you're a beginner and you're just getting going, Aweber's the best. It integrates with pretty much every piece of software out there, all page builders, things like that. It's the most commonly used among a lot of marketers out there. So I highly recommend it, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's get into number three. This one is one people never think about, okay? And this is also not only automated, but you can use it in the sense of where not only can you do what I'm about to tell you, but you can also repurpose this content into several pieces of content, okay? So what it is turning videos. So let's say you create a video, you put it up on YouTube, and how you can have that video on YouTube transcribed through rev.com. Okay, now that might not sound very exciting, but let me explain to you why I think this is a great thing. So you can go into rev.com, rev.com. You set up an account, okay? And every single video that you upload to YouTube, you can integrate Rev with your YouTube channel, okay? And what happens is every time that you upload a video to YouTube, Rev grabs that video and they transcribe it for you automatically, okay? And what's cool about that is that you can take the transcription of the content that you've shared, and you could take that transcription and turn it into a long-form social media post. The very content you put into the video, you could repurpose it into a text post, okay? You could also take out certain quotes out of the video that you created, okay? And then it's transcribed, pull out certain amount of quotes or things in there that are valuable and turn them into, your famous little quote cards out there that people see. They post quotes, but you yourself have probably said a lot of good quotes over the years. So now what happens is you can actually create your own and then start loading them into your auto poster. You see, so you're not just creating a piece of content, throwing it out there, and then not really doing anything else with it, where you could actually take a video and turn it into several different types of content. Now, if you have a blog, okay, you could also take the transcription of the video and turn that into a blog post. Okay, so there's so many things you could do with this. You take a video, you create a video, upload it to YouTube, integrate with rev.com. Rev automatically transcribes it for you for a few bucks. Okay, it's like $1.20 a minute or something. I think they even have an automated portion of Rev, which is a lot less money. It's like 25 cents a minute, but it does it automated, and I guess it's pretty good. I've never used it, but I just usually pay the few bucks. And then you take it, turn it into a blog post, turn it into quote cards, turn it into long form social media posts, and load that all into your auto poster and schedule that stuff to go out all automatically. You don't have to touch it. All you do is you show up every day, you come on your thing, you answer comments, you go back in there, and you just spend your time on money-making activities. So all of this is why the very first one that I talked about was the auto poster, because everything you do is going to be geared around that auto poster. And over time, you're going to be able to load that thing up with all kinds of content, blog posts, videos, quote cards, text quotes, long form posts, anything that you can do. So you repurpose all of this content and throw it in one thing and let it continue to pump out for you and get exposure for you on multiple levels. Okay. So that is one that I think is huge if you're doing videos and even Facebook Live videos, okay? There's browser extensions out there that will allow you to download your videos off of Facebook Lives, okay? So once you do a Facebook Live, you go there and you use this browser extension. You can go search for it in the Chrome browser extension store. If you're using Firefox, probably the same thing. And you can download the video for that. And then you could take that video over to rev.com, have it transcribed, and do exactly what I explained. Turn it into a blog post, a quote cards, long form posts, anything you want, okay? The other cool thing is you could actually there's another way. This is a bonus tip, okay? I'm going to give you another one here. You create a video. There is a really cool service out there called Cloud Convert, okay? And what it can do is, once you could throw in your video and strip the audio out of it, and then you could actually take that audio and upload it to a podcast or like SoundCloud or something like that. And so there's so many different ways you can repurpose content and then utilize it for automation later on. So it's a huge, huge deal. I don't think a lot of people think about this. I think they're constantly kind of in, this mode of, gotta create more. And I'm not saying that's bad, but why not take the content we create and maximize its full potential? Rather than just going out there and creating one piece of content, throwing it out there, kind of waiting for somebody to come to it, make sure you squeeze every last bit of juice out of that video that you possibly can. So go ahead and do that. I think it's a huge one. So, all right, so let's kind of shift gears here for a second. And I'll talk about, number 4, what I think is a huge one. And it's one of my favorites, and that is messenger marketing through ManyChat. Now, I haven't, been going into a lot of ManyChat stuff lately. I was really on a ManyChat kick for about 2 years, to be honest with you. It's like all I wanted to teach. But ManyChat went through some big changes recently. And I kind of stopped because there was so much misinformation out there about ManyChat and why it was, what it was. I kind of just waited to let things kind of settle down a little bit. Well, ManyChat is really powerful. And if you're not familiar with it, basically what it is Facebook Messenger marketing is very powerful. Facebook Messenger bots and the ability for you to create audiences inside of Facebook Messenger bots is a very, very powerful one. And I'm going to be doing a lot of training on this coming up. I've been really testing out some new things and some new ideas. And my goal is to share those with you. But you should really dive into Facebook ManyChat, okay? Facebook Messenger via ManyChat. ManyChat's a software, but it's a very powerful way to do it. It allows you to build a messenger list, and you can be able to send out broadcasts really for very, very, it's not a lot of money. You do it through a Facebook sponsored message, and it's very powerful. But that is one way you could set up flows and processes that allow you to qualify people prior to even chatting with them. Okay, this is one great way to do automation. It's very powerful, and it's one of my favorite ways to market online. So we'll be talking about more about that. But if you want to start diving into ManyChat and Facebook Messenger marketing, you can certainly do that and start checking it out and kind of diving into it a little bit. And go to ManyChat, set up a free account. You can start playing with it. ManyChat.com. Okay. All right, so let's get into number 5. And number 5, people know about this tool. Some people know about it, some people don't. But by far, when it comes to automation, this is probably my most favorite tool on the planet. Okay, and it is Zapier. If you've never heard of Zapier, it is a tool that I think is probably, it is probably the most versatile tool out there, because you can take what Zapier does, okay? Basically what happens is, and just so you know, I have a comment here, I have updated my ManyChat course, so it's all updated, just so you know, okay? Just throwing that out there. So Zapier, basically what it does is there's thousands and thousands of apps out there, okay? All these different apps, okay? Say you've got like Google Sheets here, and you've got like your YouTube channel here. And this is one of the ways I utilize Zapier, is Google Sheets is a great way to have spreadsheets, right? And it is a great way. So Zapier.com, okay? Zapier.com, okay? And what happens is you have two different applications here. So a Google Sheets and say your YouTube channel. And let's say you want to create a list of all your videos, okay? So every single video that gets posted onto your YouTube channel, you want to put into a spreadsheet so you have a list of all your videos. So what Zapier does is it takes these two apps and sits right in the middle as like a bridge. So let's say you post a video on your YouTube channel. Zapier grabs all the info from your YouTube video and takes it and puts it onto the spreadsheet for you. And so you can pull up that spreadsheet at any point, and you've got a list. Now I do this not only for my YouTube videos, but I also do it for my blog posts. So anytime I post a new blog post, Zapier automatically creates a list of them for me. Now, why would you want to create a list? Well, whenever I do some outsourcing, or I have somebody that needs some of my content to be able to search through some of my content, because I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blog posts, I have a list of it. They can search through it and find specific videos, or specific blog posts or videos for that matter. So I have all of that automated. So every time that happens, let me give you another example of one of the things that I do with Zapier. Okay. And I love Sheets, Google Sheets, because I can save information. One of the biggest things that you'll want to do, especially with Sheets, is you really want, like for instance, okay, Zapier integrates with Gmail, okay? So if you have a Gmail account, here's what happens. There are certain leaders that I follow that I want to monitor, and I want to see what kind of emails that they do. I create my own swipe files. So one of the things that you want to do as a marketer is create swipe files. Now, what swipe files are basically are files that you can go to get inspiration. So for instance, if there's a leader that you follow and you want to see what kind of subject lines they use on their emails, you can set it up where Zapier integrates with your Gmail account, and you can go to Google Sheets, and every single email that comes into your inbox from that person, it will pull the email headline or subject line and stick it into a sheet for you automatically. So anytime I need some inspiration for a headline for my emails, I can pull up this sheet full of email headlines, and I can just scroll through and start to, get some inspiration from that. Now, I don't copy them 100%, but they at least give me some ideas of what I want to do. And that is something I do religiously. Okay, for instance, now let's say that you want to save everybody's emails, but you don't want to have to go searching through your Gmail, okay? You can set up what's called a Zap in Zapier, where you can have every single email get stored inside of an Evernote account. If you're not familiar with Evernote, I use Evernote like crazy. Evernote is a way to save content, but you can have all these emails get imported into Evernote automatically, and they all just start showing up, inside as notes. So anytime you want to go in there, you can pull it up. You can search out emails and get inspiration. Okay, this is just another way you can do it. So another thing you could do, let me give you another example with Zapier. Remember rev.com? We talked about rev.com. So you upload a video. This is all automated. Check this out. You upload a video, and because rev.com is integrated with your YouTube account, it automatically starts to transcribe your video. Now you could set up a Zap through Zapier where when that transcription is completed, it'll zap it through Zapier. It can automatically bring it over and stick it into your Evernote account, and it'll save it as a note inside of Evernote. You could also have it automatically post to your blog, so that you could go in and you can create a blog post. This is all automated, by the way. You can set up all these flows, these workflows that allow you to automate this entire process like 80 to 90%. So let's say, this is just one of the ways you can do it, guys. One of the things that I've done, and this is a cool little tip. I sell my own products. So what happens is there's certain products that I want to send a personalized email to people who buy. A lot of people are familiar with autoresponders and they get an automatic email or something like that after they purchase. So what I do is I have it set up on Zapier. Some of you guys may not know this. Some of you guys have probably bought products from me and you don't even know this. But the next day, about 24 hours later, I have it automated to set up to log into my Gmail account for me, okay? And it will pull their information and I can send them an email directly from my Gmail account, okay? And it's automated. So it just sends it for me. It's like, let's say the prior day, if I sold 7 products, it'll log in, okay? And it'll send an email out the next morning and just says, hey, Mark Harbert here. This is my personal account, my personal email account. So any questions you have, feel free to email me. I love to connect with you. I get emails back all the time. And the cool thing is it's all automated. I don't have to go in and go, person 1, they bought. Let me go ahead and send this email. Oh, person number 2, let me send this email. It's all automated for me because I've set it up. But the cool thing is as people reply back, I go ahead and reply back too. It kind of handles the initial contact for me so that I don't have to go in and do it. So the people that are engaged the most, they'll reply back and same thing. Some other automation, okay? All right. So I hope first off, are you guys getting value from this? If you are, do me a favor. Go ahead and put a comment. Just tell me. Are you getting value from some of this? Does some of these tips help you? That's a big one for me, that if I know you're getting value from this, I'll share a couple more with you. And by the way, I also want to, any questions that you guys have, get ready because we'll have a Q&A here in just a moment. You can start asking me some of your questions regarding automation and how we can do it. So real quick, if you haven't gotten registered, make sure you check the description of this video and go register for Tuesday night. I'm doing this web class, going to show you how to automate your sales and your signups. Okay. I'm actually going to go in and show you guys some of my numbers. Okay. You'll see some of my numbers on some of the campaigns and the things that I've done to really sell massive amounts of products and how you guys can basically duplicate it. Okay. So make sure you get registered for that. Look in the description, or you can go to markharbert.com/case study and get registered as well. Okay. All right. So good. I'm glad you guys are getting value from all of this. And, I love it. This is great stuff. So there's so many things you can automate. I think you guys are starting to get, the picture about how you can do this. Now, here's the cool thing. Okay. We talked about your auto poster, like Meet Edgar. Okay. Meet Edgar actually integrates with Zapier. So what happens is you create a video. Okay. You upload it to YouTube. Rev grabs out your transcription. That transcription automatically gets saved to your Evernote account. It automatically gets saved to a spreadsheet if you want it. You can send it off onto your blog. You can have it automatically upload to your blog as a draft post if you want. So then you can go in there and fix it up, make sure it's good. And then what you could also do with it is you could have it automatically loaded into your Meet Edgar account also. Okay, so that's the cool thing. Like, one little trigger can send it in 14 different directions, depending upon what your workflow is. Okay. And that is the great thing about it. So I'm going to give you one last automation tip that I use in my business. And I put this in a lot of my campaigns is, for instance, if I have somebody's phone number, okay, one of the things that I will do is in a campaign, for instance, I will set it up where, let's say 14 days in or, a couple weeks in or whatever, I want to check up with them. Well, I actually have a texting service that I used. And basically what it'll do is it'll automatically send them a text from me. And I just ask them a question in the text. Hey, Julie, this is Mark. I'm just checking with you. You've been going through my course now for 14 days. Just wondering, how are you getting value from it? And so what happens is when they reply back to the text, I get an email. And all I have to do is reply to the email and it will automatically text them back. So I can have a two-way conversation with them on their phone while they're texting over my email. But the initial reach out, the initial contact was automated. So what happens is I'm only talking to people that are showing the most interest. Does that make sense? So some of you guys are asking what texting service do I use? I use a service called ClickSend, clicksend.com. So you can check it out if you want. All right. So Carol's saying, yes, lots of value, confused though. So I need to be on your training for webinar for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm just throwing out some things here for you, to hopefully that you grab onto a couple things, but definitely come on out. I'm going to be sharing more on automation. You're going to be hearing a lot from me over the, weeks and months. I'll be talking more and more about automation and how you can automate things. Especially, when it comes to online marketing, there's so many things that can be automated. And, but on Tuesday, I'm going to be sharing a lot about that. We're going to be talking about how to, automate sales, signups, all kinds of things. I mean, I'm going to show you some of my numbers. We're going to go deep into my numbers. I'm going to show you several times how I've done basically this exact same thing, over and over. I'll go into it. Many of my students that I work with, I've had a lot of success stories with a lot of my students that have been implementing automation in their business and are getting results. I have a client of mine in the last week. He's gotten 3 commissions, his very first commissions using automation, so it's just a very, very powerful thing. And a lot of people don't realize it. They're spending hours and hours and hours a day on social media, and quite frankly, it's, I don't know about you, but too much time on social media gives me a headache. Like, it just gives me a headache. Like, anytime I can automate some things and not, have a major, a major brain fart, if you want to call it, I'm all about it, man. Like, so I love social media, but I hate it too. Okay. I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I love it because I get to see great people like you guys, but I also hate it because there's a lot of negativity on there, and sometimes it's hard to avoid it, other than just trying to eliminate it at most. But automation is a big thing. And, a couple people are asking, the training on Tuesday. Yes, it's September 22nd at 9 p.m. Eastern. So markharbert.com/case study. You can go there and get registered for it. And then, Leonard's asking, let's just put that up there. He's saying, will these ideas work in the financial services industry, insurance industry? Automation will work with anything. I mean, it will work with anything. I mean, whatever you're doing, it's all about this. Get a pad of paper out. Okay. Get a pen, grab a pen and sit down and start asking yourself, what are the repetitive things that I do every single day? The same things I do that, are kind of mind numbing. I don't necessarily like them, but start writing them out. Write them out and then ask yourself, is there a way to automate this? Okay. And if you use some of the tools that I talk about, meet Edgar. Okay. meetedgar.com. That's one. If you want to go through my affiliate link, that'd be great. Okay. markharbert.com/meetedgar. Okay. MEETEDAR. EDGAR. Meet Edgar. Okay. So you can go there, sign up for a tool like that. Or there's some other ones, Hootsuite, Buffer. Those are 2 other ones out there. These kind of tools, and see how you can, automate some of these things. So you've got that. Then you've got your autoresponder. How can I automate some emails? How can I automate some of my emails, behaviorally? Like I told you before, go into your autoresponder, learn everything there is to know about your autoresponder and all the capabilities that your autoresponder has. A lot of times people are not using things to their full advantage. So I highly recommend you do that, learn that, go in there, and it will certainly help you in a big way. All right, so do that, write that down, but really get clear on all the repetitive tasks you do. And then for me, Zapier is it's one of my favorite tools. There's so many things you can do with Zapier. I mean, it's mind-boggling. There's literally thousands of apps, okay? Thousands of apps out there. Thousands upon thousands. I think it's something like 1,500 to 2,000 apps that Zapier integrates with. So if you have, one over here and one over here, and you're like, man, it'd be really great if they could talk to each other and kind of do things. The key is, setting up this, I appreciate that, whoever this is. It doesn't give me your name, so I gotta, figure that out, how that works. But thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. But, so your goal is, how can you make them talk? If you're going to here's the other thing. If you wanted to automate some of your social media posting, you could actually use Zapier too, where when you upload a video, Zapier also posts your video to Pinterest for you. And it'll also post it to Twitter, and it'll also post it to all these other social media sites that you could post to. It could auto post for you there too. So what it does is it shares your YouTube video out there and gets the link out there into multiple different places. There's so many ways you can utilize this. So Zapier, I love it. It's a great tool. I don't have an affiliate link for it. I don't think they have an affiliate program, but believe me, if they did, I would have one, because it's one of the most valuable tools I have, and super, super valuable. But literally, like I said, you can if you can automate something, believe me, I will try to do it. If I can automate it, I will do it. And that's kind of the way you want to be in your business as well. So think about those things that you can do to free up your time. And instead of spending hours upon hours on social media, because a lot of people do that, they spend way too much time. If I ask the average person, you guys, let me ask you guys, how much time do you spend on social media? I mean, really, really, do you spend on social media? Ask yourself that every single day. Scrolling your phone, on your desktop. I mean, how much time do you spend? I'll bet you the average person is anywhere from between 2 to 6 hours a day. So I'm telling you, it's it's pretty mind-boggling when you get into it. I spend quite a bit on there too, but my time on there is more conversing with people. My time on there is messaging people. It's replying to comments, things like that. So that's the time that I spend there, and that's the way I like to do it. So, all right. So, awesome. Maribel's registered. So if you guys want to get registered again for Tuesday night, it'd be awesome to see you there. So what I want to do here is I want to open it up for questions. Okay. So if you have questions, go ahead and type them out. Questions regarding automation, and I'll do my best. And honestly, if you guys don't have questions, then, I won't answer any. And we'll get off here and we'll all have a good night. But if you have questions, post them. I'd love to see them. And we'll go from there. Yes. So I have a course. Leonard's asking, did I hear you say that you've updated ManyChat? So I have a course called The Messenger Revolution, and it's all about how to use ManyChat. And I just updated that course. I believe it was either April or May that I updated it with all the new updates. And that. So, there's no problem there. It's updated. There's really, of course, it handles a lot of the fundamentals. That's what that course is focused on. And I give you a lot of templates in the course too. But if you have that course It has been updated, so you can go in there and get, the basics of how to make sure that you utilize it properly, and you'll get some value from it for sure. Okay, so Maribel has a awesome question here. Okay, and I didn't even think about this. So, what do you use for calendar scheduling? Personally, I like the tool Calendly. Okay, there's two actually that I use in my business, but one is used for one purpose and one is used for my own personal, and one is used for business purposes with some members on my team. But I use Calendly, and here's the cool thing is that Calendly integrates with Zapier. So let me give you an example here. Let's say when people schedule with you on your online calendar, okay, like on Calendly, they schedule a time with you. You could set up a Zap in Zapier where when they register to, when they sign up to or schedule a time with you, that what it does is it'll automatically create a Zoom meeting for them. So if you're using Zoom, Zoom is very powerful because what can happen is now you can automatically create a Zoom link for them, and that Zoom link will be given to them so that they can join you in a call, and that can all be automated. So it's not like, hey, I'll message you the Zoom link when we get started. You can automatically have one set up specifically for them. So it's a really cool process. And no, I use Calendly, Maribel. I think it's great. It works great. What I love about it is that it actually integrates with iCloud. So I use a Mac and I need it to integrate with iCloud. Acuity may do that as well, but I've just been using Calendly for the last couple of years and I love it personally. It's a great calendar. Now, some of my team members on my team here, what they use is Schedule Once. That's another one. That's a good one. And that, integrates pretty well as well. All right. All right. So more questions. Come on, guys. I know you got questions. I know you guys are, you're out there. So, as far as the automation, I highly recommend you go set up a Zapier account and go in there and start playing around with it. You'll be amazed at what you can do. You'll be amazed. And it's just such a cool tool. And there's so much you could do with it. And it just works really, really well. So I recommend it, especially if you're getting started and you want to work on automation more. So, all right. So here's some free coaching. All right. So let's see here. Okay. Well, Maribel's got a lot of questions. Okay. Let me see here. Well, all right. Maribel says, what's your favorite email autoresponder, PayPal or Stripe? Okay. So my favorite email autoresponder, what I use personally is Infusionsoft. So for me, that's what I use. I like it personally. It's very, 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 very detailed. I'll be blunt with you though. I would not wish Infusionsoft on my worst enemy. Okay. While I absolutely love Infusionsoft, it is a very, very heavy learning curve. So I don't recommend it for the faint at heart. Okay. There's a lot to it. And, but the automation capability of it is absolutely insane. And, there's so much you can do with it. And that's why I love it. I mean, I've been using it in my business now for about 5 years, and I've been kind of on a 5-year learning curve. There's still things I'm learning about it that I'm like, holy cow, I can do this. I never knew that. So, it's a great piece of software. I recommend it, but only to those that have, severe patience and you're willing to put in there. So my second favorite, if I was not using Infusionsoft, and I was kind of just getting started and not really, selling my own products or anything like that, I would totally say Aweber. It's the best place to start. Later on, as you get more advanced, you can move into other things. And then your other question was regarding PayPal or Stripe. Okay. I have a Stripe account. I do not use it. It's great. It's one of the most widely used out there, especially in our industry. Stripe is If you don't know, it's like PayPal. It's the ability to receive money, and it integrates with a lot of things. So Stripe is great. I have a PayPal account that I use quite a bit, but it's not my main thing. I have another account that integrates with Infusionsoft, and it's called WePay, and I use that for my courses and things like that. And it integrates directly, and it works really, really well with our software. So, but there's really no preference there between PayPal and Stripe. They both have certain purposes. If you're going to integrate and you want to sell your own courses and things like that, I would actually recommend Stripe. And I think it's great. They got a lot of great capabilities. So, okay, let's see here. Next one. Next question. Other than Infusionsoft for an autoresponder, what do you recommend? Aweber. MarkHarbert.com/Aweber if you want to use my affiliate link. I would love that. Thank you very much. All right, let's see here. And Kim, she says, do you have a way to get the questions from our Facebook group into Google Docs? I don't know about that. However, set up a Zapier account and go in there, and there may be some capability to do that. I don't know because I have never tried that. But I would highly recommend if there's a way to do it, it would probably be through Zapier. So look into it because Facebook does integrate with Zapier, Facebook groups, Facebook ads. There's all kinds of things that integrate with it. So I would get in there and check that out. All right. Great question. Not sure who this is, but what's the cost of these automation tools you're speaking of? So Meet Edgar, I pay $50 a month for that. That's the one I use. There is other ones out there. I think Hootsuite is one of them. And I think last I saw, there was a plan that was like maybe $8 a month or $10 a month, very low. So there's that. The other one, like my software that I use, Infusionsoft. Now keep in mind, that's my automation tool. I sell my own product. I actually pay $400 a month for that. Okay. Aweber, you can start out on Aweber for $19 a month. So Aweber, there you go. That's a good one. And so that's those tools. In Zapier, they've got all different plans. They've got like beginner plans and things like that. So you have to go over and check it out. I pay, I believe, $50 a month for Zapier as well. All right. What's up? Michael's on here. He says, what do you recommend for a video posting software for Facebook Lives? Oh, I'm so glad you asked that because I'm using that software right now. And I am going to give you my affiliate link. And if you use my affiliate link, I'd appreciate it. But markharbert.com/eCam. That's ECAMM. Okay. I love eCam. This software is awesome. I'm not even using it to its perfect capability yet. But I love it. Now, this is only for Macs. Okay, this only works on a Mac. So if you don't have a Mac, forget it. You'll have to go out and find another one. There are some other ones out there that you can find, that you can use. There's like, I want to say StreamYard is one. You've got, there's some other ones out there that you can use for Facebook Lives. Personally, I think eCam's awesome. So if you have a Mac, I recommend it. You'll love it. It's a great software. All right. Let's see. All right. What's up, Rob Cook? What's going on? Awesome. So he's asking me about Active Campaign. Now, Active Campaign is an autoresponder software. I've heard a ton of great things about Active Campaign. I've never personally used it, so I can't say for sure 100%. I just know that it's got a great reputation. So if you if Angie's on here, she can tell you. It's a great one. Like I said, I haven't used it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So if you want to check it out, check it out. I think you'll love it. All right, so it looks like Zapier has a $10 plan, so you can check that one out. Let's see here. Okay, well, we don't have any more. You guys are on a roll. Keep the questions going. Let's go. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, so I guess Zapier does have a free plan as well. So go over there and check it out. I've had Zapier now for probably 5 years. I've been using it, and they just keep getting better and better. So It's very, very powerful. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any more questions, what we'll do is we'll wrap this up here. But one of the core components to automation is understanding your processes. Okay, and understanding how things work. And that's how you can begin to automate things. Again, I highly recommend you make the list and then start looking for ways to automate certain things. So, yep. Not sure who this is, but do you like OP3? I love OP3. Okay. That's for those of you guys that don't know, it's Optimize Press 3.0. And that's on a WordPress platform. If you're not familiar with WordPress, it's basically WordPress runs about 75% of all the blogs out there. Probably more than that. It literally is what runs millions and millions of websites. And I've known how to use WordPress now for probably 10 years. They've been around a long time. But Optimize Press is a funnel builder software that works really, really well on WordPress. So do I love it? I absolutely love it. Yes. Okay, good. This is a great one. I'm not sure who this is. Sorry, guys. We'll have to figure out how to get this. But automate processes, not relationships. Genuinely connect with others. 100%, 1000%. Okay. Now, one of the things that I want to point out is that, automation is awesome. Okay. I love automation. I love it. I mean, to me, it's like, anything I can automate, I will. However, you can't automate relationships with people. Okay. And okay, so that's Angie. What's up, Angie? So the key is the tedious tasks that you do that help you lead you to relationships. Okay. That's why what I'm talking about, loading stuff into an auto poster, which posts cool things for you, but then you come in every single day, converse with people, chat with people in Messenger, answer comments. It helps you to constantly get your content out there and keep the conversations going. So while you can certainly automate a whole slew of things, make sure you're not automating, relationships, because that's really difficult to do. And honestly, you don't want to do it. You have to learn to love people, even with all their quirks, because we all have them. So, keep that in mind.